Hello and welcome everyone to teamwork.com's Q4 Product Roadmap webinar. Thank you all for joining us today, wherever in the world you are. Appreciate you joining us and hearing about all things teamwork.com Product Roadmap. So excited to have us all together for this session. My name's Janelle and excited to be your host today. And just as we get started here, let me know in the chat where you're calling in from. If there's anything exciting, let's just fill the space with some of that before we kick things off officially in about 5 minutes or so. So, like I said, my name is Janelle. I'm a product marketer manager here, and I'm based just outside of Toronto. And we have folks calling. Oh, Marcus. Yes. Welcome, Marcus. Hope you're enjoying the Blue Jays run. Um, what an exciting time to be a Toronto sports fan. Go Blue Jays. So welcome here. Welcome here to also Susan calling in from Nebraska, Mary Ellen from Michigan, Dawn from Fort Collins. Mark's calling in from the United Kingdom. Great to have you all here. It's always so interesting to see where our global customers are calling in from. So thanks again for taking time out of your busy day to join us. Um, Hopefully Marcus will see if it can be like the 92, 93 year all over again for the Blue Jays. Sorry if there's any Seattle folk here, but great to have everyone here regardless. Jennifer's calling in from Virginia, and Sarah's calling in from Indiana. Nice to have you here. Roberto from London and Nicola from Ireland. I think a lot of folks know, but Teamwork's based in Cork in Ireland, so nice to have you here, Nicola. Danica is calling from Squamish. Haven't gotten myself out to Squamish yet in British Columbia, but it does look beautiful out there on the island. Thanks again, everyone, for joining. We'll just give it a couple more minutes here before we kick off, but just let us know in the chat where you are calling in from. Steve's calling in from Scotland. It says it's quite chilly there, and a lot of us are in sweater season right now with chilly, dreary fall weather. So hopefully, you can keep cozy and enjoy this change of the season. Guillermo's calling in from Mexico City, though, probably very different there. Um, Laura's checking in from Myrtle Beach. So it's great to have everyone here. We'll just give it a couple more minutes to just welcome some more of our guests in. So let us know where in the chat where you're calling in from here. Suzanne is calling in from Montreal. Thanks for coming. Jason's from Ohio. Yep, definitely starting to change there. At least here, our colors are kind of in peak fall season right now. So just enjoying some beautiful autumn colors out there. But thanks everyone once again for spending time with us today. And I think on that note, we can jump on here. We have a good audience. So I'm just going to click on here. And like I said, my name is Janelle. I'm a product marketer here at teamwork.com. I'll be the host for this session today. And I'm joined by Jane and Laura. So I'll just get them to come off camera and introduce themselves and welcome you all here.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. As Janelle said, we have people calling in from all over the place. I always get so ingrained and distracted by that chat. I always almost forget why we're here. So really looking forward to taking you through some of the exciting stuff that's happened at Teamwork over the last couple of months since we last spoke. And even more exciting, some of the things that we're going to be working on for the remainder of the year as well. So looking forward to bringing you all up to speed.
Hey everybody, Laura here. I'm product manager based in Belfast in Ireland. It's my first time presenting the product roadmap webinar today, so I'm really excited to take you through some of the updates that we have coming very soon.
Yes, give Laura all of the support. First time taking the mic, but she's a pro. She's been here forever. She's sat in a lot of these. I'm sure many of you have had conversations with her in the background during these sessions before. So excited to have Jane and Laura speaking today. And we always like to start off with our mission here at teamwork.com. So our mission is to help anyone that delivers client work anywhere make their teams efficient, organized, profitable, and happy. So really, we started out kind of with an agency lens, but now we've completely opened that up and really helping anyone that delivers client work to keep everything efficient, organized, profitable, and happy. And we do that uniquely at Teamwork by combining those table stake powerful project management functionalities. I know that's how a lot of people get in the door, but then they realize there's a lot with client work that they want to streamline and all the operations under the hood with resourcing and financial management and ticketing and reporting and the whole suite of client work fun, you could say. And our ultimate goal is to really help you profit from every client demand. So that's really our North Star here at teamwork.com. And our agenda today, as Laura and Jane teased, is that we're first going to take a look back to remind everyone of what was recently released. So you can just get a refresher and hear directly from us about some of these features. And then also our coming soon features. So talk about what you can expect for the rest of the quarter and what we have currently in the pipe and that we're currently working on. I'll then finish off with a couple other announcements at the end, and then we will save time for Q&A at the end, so about 10 to 15 minutes. So you can have those live conversations with us. And that bleeds nicely into how you can participate today. So we do have the Q&A as well in Zoom. So if you have questions, we just ask that you pop them in the Q&A specifically. The chat will just, we're just going to keep the chatter. But if you have a Q&A, a question, that's what the Q&A channel is for. And then feel free to show us your emoji love throughout today's session as well. Really, your participation is critical for us. We listen to your feedback. You'll hopefully hear some updates today that's directly based on what you've been telling us the past couple months. So we analyze all of the Q&A and all of the chatter and comments. We answer the questions. If your question doesn't get answered, we do still look at it and analyze everything at the end of the session. So really, your participation today really, really does influence our direction and our strategy as a product group here at teamwork.com. So thanks in advance for being engaged and participate today. And the final thing from me before I pass it off is we are recording this session. So if you have a teammate that can't be here, or if you have to drop midway through, we will be sending out the recording in the next couple days. So you can jump right back in, or you can watch it all over again. So don't need to worry about any of that. We are recording it. And without further ado, I will pass it over to Jane to talk about Q3. And just to be super explicit, our Q3 here at Teamwork was from July, August, and September. So just a bit of a refresher about what was released.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Janelle. So I am actually thrilled to be kicking off with some of our Teamwork AI releases over the last couple of weeks. I'm sure a lot of you have seen them make their way into the product. But we just wanted to recap some of the things that we did release and share some of the real value that a lot of our users are already getting from them. So if we can jump on to the next slide, please, Janelle. Perfect. So the first one we're going to chat through today is the AI comment summarization. And this is actually one that internally in Teamwork we got incredibly excited about ourselves. Obviously, we use Teamwork very heavily day in, day out to manage our own work. But we actually resonated very heavily with what a lot of our users were telling us when we were trying to find a lot of those jobs that were time consuming, a little bit repetitive, and that were kind of getting in the way of being able to actually deliver that billable client work. And one of those things was trying to catch up on back and forth comments on tasks. So the AI comment summarization, what it does is it allows you to take a very quick glance at a lot of the activity comments wise that's been happening on a task, and it summarizes it into a really succinct kind of preview of the activity. And then you actually have the ability to pin that so that your teammates also will get the value of seeing the full summarized view of the comments and commentary back and forth on a task. So this was released a few weeks ago now, available to everybody, and we've had some really positive feedback on it and the time that it has saved. Since it's been released, a lot of the work that we've actually done is kind of honing it and refining it based on the feedback. So just to echo what Janelle mentioned at the top of the call, An awful lot of what we do here at Teamwork is working directly with customers like you guys to get your feedback on existing features, what it is that you're missing. So I think this is a good example of where we released the feature, spoke to a lot of people, and very quickly improved and iterated based on the feedback. So that is AI comment summarization. The next one on the AI front is the AI filter assistant. So this is one, again, personally, I absolutely love. So obviously filters are incredibly important, particularly when you're trawling through long lists of tasks, trying to get a little bit more pointed with exactly what it is that you are trying to understand. And what AI filters does is it allows you to, in a more natural language way, tell the product what it is that you want to see, how you want to filter the view, and then we apply the filters from the kind of pre-canned list of filters that we have available to you. So it's super quick and it's a lot less thinking, I think is the way I'd put it, when you're trying to figure out exactly the type of view that you want to have within your tasks. So if you haven't given this one a whirl, I'd definitely recommend it, a real time saver as well. AI utilization summary. So what this does, again, when we were looking at a lot of the where our users spent their time in trying to understand different insights within the product, this is one that came up an awful lot. And what we heard is that people spent a lot of time trying to figure out which team members are over capacity, if they're being underused, utilized, or or used in certain ways. People that actually haven't been assigned enough work. So what we did was introduce the AI utilization summary. So it's going to look at your workload across users, and it's going to allow you to identify where you can reassign work more effectively, identify if there's gaps, so that you can kind of get ahead of some of those delays that they may cause, and ultimately allows you to optimize your resources for stronger profitability without having to go through and actually dig into the data and try to understand what's in there. We will raise up any concerns and any of those gaps for you so that you can act an awful lot more quickly. So another one to definitely check out is the AI utilization summary. Again, another one that a lot of our users have been really loving. AI profitability forecaster. I actually had a conversation with the customer just a couple of days ago about this one, and they were incredibly excited about it. So what we do here with the AI profitability forecaster is we are going to take an awful lot of the guesswork away from the planning for you based on all of your historical data that you have within Teamwork. So what we essentially do is we analyze the data that's within your account already. And we're going to look at trends and provide insights for you around things like revenue, cost, profit, and forecast into the future based on previous performance and the work that you have planned out going forward. So again, it takes away an awful lot of that guesswork and really, in a smart way, leverages an awful lot of the insights that are already in Teamwork based on the work that you've done in there previously. So a way to really act early through those AI-powered insights and identify any opportunity that may be available to you in the future or any risks based on how you're currently tracking. So really gets ahead of the curve for you. And that is the AI profitability forecaster. The AI Project Wizard, this is another really great time saver. So what we do with the Project Wizard is we are going to automatically generate new projects based on prompts that you're going to give the product. So again, all you need to do is either type or paste in the details of a project brief. And what this tool is going to do is it's going to review it and it's going to put together and structure a project for you using tasks and task lists based on that brief that you put in. It's kind of a smart way maybe to use a lot of the existing kind of collateral or documentation that you would already have when you're putting together things like client briefs, and allows you to actually build out that project an awful lot more quickly, splitting it out by task and task list using that brief. And of course, there is kind of an additional editing layer in between that. So we use the data that you've put in, propose a structure, you can go in and tweak it and change it if you need to, and then really quickly go in and create that project. So another really good time saver. I've actually seen a lot of people use this even to set up templates. So to jot down exactly what it is you need, create the project, and then go in and save it as a template. So another one to for sure check out if you haven't already. AI Smart Scheduler. This is a very cool one as well. So we know the importance of correctly allocating work to the correct resources, and the impact that that has if you are maybe incorrectly assigning the resources, if you're pushing people over capacity, and even the amount of time it takes for you to go through, review who the best fit user might be based on roles, for example, and their availability. across existing allocations within the product. But what we do with the AI Smart Scheduler is that we all auto assign work based on all of those criteria. So availability, roles, existing allocations that you have against a specific placeholder. Um, and then based on that role, we will analyze the users that match the role, analyze users with the best availability based on existing allocations within the resource scheduler, and are actually going to suggest the best fit users. Um, so kind of similar maybe to the utilization summary, it just takes away an awful lot of that manual digging, scrolling, trying to figure out who's the best person based on the role, the existing work that you have planned. It takes away an awful lot of that guesswork, and lets teamwork do the heavy lifting. So another really, like I said, very cool and very powerful feature. And the team are going to be iterating on this and making it even more advanced as well in the future. So that is the AI Smart Scheduler. And then lastly, we have the MCP server. So what we went through there is kind of the pre-existing features that we're after building into the Teamwork product. But where the MCP server gets very cool is that it's a really big step forward in actually integrating AI directly into how you use Teamwork in a way that best fits you. So ultimately, what the MCP does is that allows you to connect Teamwork to your favorite AI assistants, whether it's ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot, Claude, whatever it might be. And then once connected, you can actually use natural language to automate and perform different actions directly within teamwork.com and also within Teamwork Desk, which is super cool. You can do that without needing to kind of switch apps and jump from one place to the next. So some of the things that you can do with the MCP is, creating or updating tasks and projects, managing users, clients, teams. On the desk side, you're able to kind of retrieve or summarize different desk tickets, matching certain criteria, generating reports. There's a huge amount of power that you can unlock with the MCP. So in short, ultimately what it does is it brings teamwork kind of into your AI workspace and the tools that you're currently using on the AI side, which is going to save you time. It's going to reduce an awful lot of that context switching, and it makes automation far more accessible across the products. So that is the MCP server. And that wraps up the AI portion. The next piece that we're going to dig into is some of the things that we've done to make that job of managing client work a little bit easier within Teamwork. And the first one that I'm going to speak to is Salesforce. So when we released Salesforce, there was an awful lot of excitement about it. And as I mentioned, it was one of those features that we worked very closely with people that were already using Salesforce, people that wanted to use Salesforce, but were maybe blocked or held back in certain ways based on what was available in their integration. So Amy, our product manager, who's in the background answering all of your questions today, did an awful lot of work in working very closely with our customer base to figure out where the next biggest value unlock was. And that was with custom field mapping between Salesforce and Teamwork. So what you can do now with the integration is you can configure custom field mappings between the two tools on a custom field basis, particularly project custom fields on the Teamwork side. So it's going to give you an awful lot more flexibility, an awful lot more control in terms of how you want the data to flow into Teamwork and to really map that and customize it to the way that you need it to work. And really the result from that is that every project starts with exactly the information and the context that you need at your fingertips, and setting it up kind of at the integration level so it's not something you have to worry about time and time again. So that is the Salesforce Teamwork Custom Field Mapping. Up next, we have SLAs, so service level agreements, and this is specifically in the Teamwork Desk product. And this is a really big step forward in helping teams deliver faster and kind of more consistent and positive client support using Teamwork Desk. So with the SLA policy management, what you're going to be able to do is define, track, and meet your client response time commitments all directly from within Desk. And what that's ultimately going to allow you to do is never miss a deadline again, which is obviously one of the biggest value adds of SLAs. It's going to allow you to really build that relationship that you already have with your customer through Teamwork Desk, in ensuring that the type of service that, first of all, you want to deliver to them, but then also the type of service that you agree with them through the likes of SLAs is really consistent, and gives you a huge amount of kind of accountability and transparency as well into those things. So with the SLA feature, there's really strong visibility into the SLAs within the product. You can see the countdown right on the ticket. So There's no questioning in terms of priorities or performance or where do I jump to next. Once you have the SLA assigned, it becomes very clear what the highest priority engagements are and where you should be jumping in. So ultimately, it's all about giving your team the tools to stay proactive, to stay on top of things with your clients, and really give your clients the reassurance that their issues are being held and handled in a very timely manner every time. So that is SLAs, and I believe at this juncture, I'm going to hand over to the wonderful Laura.
Thanks, Jane. So the next round of features that we're going to be running through is everything around planning resources. So first up, this next update makes it even easier to plan work accurately. So especially for those who are juggling kind of meetings and client calls and project deadlines, the planning views are now syncing with Google Calendar, which is very exciting. So your team's real commitments and any kind of out of office time are factored directly into their availability within the planner views. So I think you're going to find this super valuable. You'll now see meetings and any out of office time from Google Calendar in real time. So that's giving you a true picture of when your team is actually available. It'll help you to avoid any double booking, since you're scheduling around their real world commitments and not just projects and tasks and teamwork. And you can plan with confidence, so you know that your team's capacity and teamwork genuinely reflects their day-to-day schedule. It's a huge step forward, bringing all your team's work, meetings, tasks, and time together in one accurate, unified view. So that is GCal in our planning views. So next up then we have time off. So this update is a big quality of life improvement for anybody who is managing teams across multiple regions. So this is all about making time off management smarter and more automated, so saving you a lot of time. So now regional public holidays can be managed for your entire organization directly in Teamwork. You no longer have to manually adjust any schedules or availability. So firstly, time off is now automatically factored into team availability. So when you're planning projects or assigning work, you're always seeing an accurate view of who's actually available. And you can apply regional holidays either company-wide or just to specific teams, depending on where they're based. So this is perfect for anybody with distributed or global teams. So it's a simple, but I'm sure you'll agree it's a very powerful change that helps teams plan more effectively, again, avoiding that overbooking and ensuring that workloads are reflecting real time off and not just what's on paper. So that is time off. Next up then, we are going to run through everything that's making your projects more profitable, which I'm sure is what you want to hear. So first up, we have multi-currency. I know this is a long-awaited feature. It's a major, major win for organizations who work with clients around the world. So we now offer official support for multiple currencies in Teamwork. Until now, everything in your installation has had to follow one default currency. And with this update, you can bill clients, track costs, and manage rates in the currency that makes sense for you or for your team. So with this, you can now create one-to-one relationships with clients and their applicable currency. So each new client will be billed exactly as they expect. You can set billable rates for each currency, helping you to stay profitable and competitive across multiple regions. You can set cost rates in the currencies that your employees are paid in, and Teamwork will handle all of those conversions automatically where needed. So you don't need to do anything manually there. Plus, you can create expenses, quotes, and invoices in the correct client currency while still seeing centralized reporting in your default currency, just for that complete overview. So this feature is all about flexibility and financial accuracy, which is ultimately giving you full control of your global operations while keep reporting simple and unified. So that is multi-currency. Next up, we have Quotes v2. So you might be thinking Quotes v2 has been out for a little while now, but we do have two new enhancements that we just wanted to showcase here. This is going to give you more options and less friction for quote creation and acceptance. So the first enhancement is that you can now build a quote based on an existing project template or a task list template. So you don't need to set up from scratch. And this makes it faster and easier for your quote creation. Secondly, you can now convert an accepted quote directly into a project and relevant tasks. So it's super easy to kick off the work and get started. So that's our little update on Quotes v2. So next up is tracking ticket time in teamwork.com. We have previously talked about this, but this new update is adding an automatic element, so it's taking any of the manual work out of this. So really, it's making it easier for your team to log time spent on tickets in Teamwork Desk and removing any of that manual effort. So with our upgrade in time tracking in Desk, you can now automatically track time from tickets straight into the relevant teamwork project. So everything is set up at site level. So this gives you a complete picture of how much effort client support or even just client communication really takes. So firstly, you can set up time can now be logged automatically based on rules that I mentioned you set up at site level. So it just happens in the background. Your team don't need to do anything. They don't need to start and stop any timers. And because this will be linked to the user rates that you have set up in projects, you can now see the true cost of the work your team does on tickets or client communication. And something that used to take a lot of manual effort to calculate, a lot of customers I talked to, their team sometimes just didn't even bother tracking this time. So this is a big time saver. And finally, you can deduct that time from project budgets or retainers, giving you a much clearer view of overall profitability per client. So that is tracking ticket time in teamwork.com. Next up, then the next piece is tracking performance. So we've added a new way to stay ahead of the curve in your utilization report, and this is with track trends. This enhancement lets you compare performance over time across key timeframes like day over day, week over week, month over month, or even quarter over quarter. So you can focus on the metrics that matter most, such as if it's total utilization or billable time, and you can spot changes as they happen, all without needing to export to Excel. So it's a faster and smarter way to uncover trends and stay on target. So that's track trends. Next up then, our utilization chart. This gives you a clear visual snapshot of how your team is tracking against their billable targets right at a glance. So we can see it quite well. The green dashed line that you'll see on screen will show you the target. So you can instantly see if you're hitting, exceeding, or falling short. So you'll also be able to compare actual hours, which you'll see there in blue, with estimated hours in pink. And this will help you see how your plans are playing out in reality. So it's a simple but powerful way to spark those data-driven conversations around workload, forecasting, or when it might be time to bring in some additional support. Next up then, we have charts on custom reports. So these have been out for a little while as well. I think it was around March time. But we've been listening to feedback and we have extended this out from scale only to grow. So those on the grow plan can now add one chart to each of their custom reports. And the benefit really that this will bring to you is that when you're adding charts to your reports, you can easily visualize and easily communicate those key metrics to your stakeholders. So that's a really, really nice update. And I think I'm passing back to Jane.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Laura. Great. So that was a bit of a look back at what we've been busy working on since we last spoke. And the next section of the webinar now is going to be what a lot of people I know come to this webinar for, and that's the exciting, fun, coming soon stuff. So I'm going to kick us off with a little bit of AI and carry on from some of the things we spoke about at the top of the call. So as you can see, we're investing very heavily in AI. But our mission with AI is to introduce it in meaningfully, as meaningfully as possible into the product. So trying to find ways that we can boost your productivity, boost your efficiency, and then ultimately, of course, improve your profitability. And one of the things that we're going to be releasing over the next couple of weeks, and this is specifically on the desk side, is ticket trends. So this is a super exciting one, and one of the more exciting things I think that we're going to be looking at for the second half of the year as well. And ultimately, what trends is it's about helping you understand why your clients are reaching out, not just how many tickets they're sending. So it's really about the themes and the trends in terms of what they're sending into you rather than just the quantity or volume of tickets. So with an AI powered summarization, Teamwork Desk is ultimately going to automatically group related tickets into themes, or what we're calling trends. And this is ultimately going to give you instant visibility into what's driving that client contact. So whether it's particular issues, recurring questions, product gaps, process gaps, it's going to give you that visibility into where the volume is coming in terms of the tickets that you're getting. So at a glance, you can see what your top ticket trends are. So if a lot of tickets are coming in about the same topic, you can decide to maybe improve documentation, update training, or flag it to your product team if it's an issue, for example, coming in. If you notice a sudden spike in similar tickets, for example, you can quickly filter by trend, review them all together, and then actually even send bulk responses with personalized updates. So a real time saver there if you see an influx in terms of a specific trend. And then for managers or product teams, it means you can actually spot patterns and root causes very early. Feeding real insights back into your product roadmap, service improvements, that type of thing. But really, the goal with this is to improve kind of the way you work and move from being reactive to proactive. So you can see what's coming in before it turns into a bigger issue and, continuously improve how you actually support your clients. So it's a really powerful way to connect the dots across your client comms within Teamwork. And that happens right inside Teamwork Desk, of course. So that is trends. On a slightly similar vein, then we actually have similar tickets. And this is designed to actually help your support team work an awful lot smarter. And again, similar to some of the other AI features that we've spoken about, it's going to use existing data within your account to make that an awful lot easier. So we all know the feeling. You're responding to a client, you're sure someone has asked this question in the past, something similar, but finding that old ticket, it takes time, it takes you away from the job at hand. So with similar tickets, Desk is now actually going to automatically show you up to 5 previously resolved tickets that closely match the one that you're working on. And you can see how trends kind of feeds into this as well. And those suggestions or similar tickets are actually going to appear in the ticket sidebars. You can see in the little image here to the right-hand side, and that's using semantic search. So even if the wording is slightly different, the system is going to still be able to surface relevant previous answers. So your agents now can reuse trusted responses from past tickets that actually did the trick, solved the problem, because it's pulling from resolved tickets. So it ultimately means faster and more consistent replies. Of course, saving an awful lot of time on searching, trying to find whether something like this has been answered before. You can actually hover or open a quick view as well to scan the ticket instantly from within the existing ticket that you're trying to resolve. So you're not jumping to different areas of the product, not having to open multiple tabs and try find those old tickets. And for managers as well, it's actually a great way to ensure accuracy and consistency in the types of responses that are going out, particularly when you're onboarding new team members, for example. So if you have that ability to see, previous tickets that solved a problem well, you can use that even as an onboarding tool for new starters. So really, the more you use Teamwork Desk, the smarter this feature is going to become, because it's going to obviously continuously learn from your history. So over time, the help desk tool is just going to get better and better and faster at helping you answer those client questions. So that is similar tickets. And then lastly, we have ticket summarization. So you can see how all of these things fitting together is just going to make Desk even more of a dream to use. But this one really is all about saving time and improving collaboration. So when you're reviewing a ticket or you're handing it over to another team member, What Teamwork Desk is going to do is automatically, similar to the AI comment summary actually that we spoke about a little while ago, generate a summary of everything that's happened so far. So again, you're not going to have to spend time scrolling through all the old messages, the long threads, trying to piece together what's been said. It means you can take over a ticket very quickly, get fully up to speed in seconds ultimately without having to read the entire history in the thread. Um, and what that's going to do is it's going to make the handoffs between teams or agents an awful lot smoother. Everyone can instantly see the key details that they need to be able to jump in and help resolve a ticket. And ultimately, it's going to help your team stay consistent and efficient, especially dealing with high volumes of client communication. So you can see how, the real theme here is about saving time rather than having to spend that extra, 5-10 minutes trying to get up to speed on the context. You can get a response out to the ticket really quickly and jump into your next one. And that is the AI coming soon section. So the next piece that we're going to talk about in terms of the coming soon is under the theme of managing client work. So what we have here is custom items. And this isn't actually one that we've spoken about in a previous webinar, so I'm thrilled to be able to announce this to you guys now. And it's something you'll see before we close out the year. So custom items is ultimately a new feature that's going to allow you to manage more than tasks within Teamwork. So it's ultimately designed to give you an awful lot more flexibility in how you track and organize anything that matters to your team. So when we're thinking about custom items, we're thinking about things beyond tasks, beyond projects, whether it's things like inventory, assets, employees, contracts. You can see the employee example here in the screenshot. Any other custom data that you need to manage alongside a project, you will be able to manage within Teamwork. And it means you can finally move away from managing little bits and pieces in Excel spreadsheets, for example, or different manual tracking systems. You'll be able to leverage custom items in that way now. So what it's going to do is it's going to give you total flexibility. You can create and manage any kind of item that doesn't fit neatly, we'll say, into a traditional task structure, as you can see in the example here. You can also customize how you view these items. So the way that you're going to add a custom item is you're going to determine what the item is called. You're going to be able to create a tab in your project. As you can see, the design tab here, for example. And what we're managing in this screenshot is candidates. So it's a HR team, it's a HR recruitment team. They have a list of candidates that they're managing, and they want to be able to get a full view of those. Using custom fields, you can build out exactly what it is that you need to manage as a part of that, through things like grouping, filtering, sorting. It's going to allow you to create a really customized, meaningful view of what it is that you want to manage. And really what we're trying to do with this is to make Teamwork that single source of truth, and actually allows you to expand how you use Teamwork beyond project and task management. So it's all about flexibility, all about scalability. And this is one that I'm incredibly excited about. So we will be doing an early access of release of this over the next couple of weeks. So it'll be going to the likes of our partners. It'll be going to early access groups. So we'll be sending out some messaging over the next couple of weeks to try rally the troops who wants to be part of the early access. But this is one that we're incredibly excited about as well. Next up, we have the timeline view. So this is a new view that we're adding into projects, a really kind of flexible, beautiful way to manage your tasks alongside the existing task view. So we're very excited to announce this. And ultimately what it is, it's a very reliable and visual project view, we'll say, within your tasks, where you'll be able to see your tasks, your milestones, dependencies, and be able to, in a far more interactive way, manage your work through things like, drag and drop, simple schedule changes. And really what we're doing with this timeline view is that it's designed to make project planning more intuitive and more enjoyable. A lot of the patterns that you're going to see within the timeline view will be very consistent with our existing task views. You'll see the beautiful screenshot here. It gives you a little sneak peek into what it's going to look like. So this is going to be coming out really soon as well. So we're very excited to get the timeline into people's hands, get everybody's feedback, and keep progressing it forward. So that is our timeline view. Next up, we have table view. So as I'm sure you're all aware, we currently within a project have our task list view, our task table view, our task board view, our Gantt, our beautiful new timeline. But what we're actually looking to do with this is introduce a new task table view experience at the everything level of Teamwork. So at the everything level now, we currently have our list view. We have, with our new workflows feature that was released over the last couple of months, we have a board view. But with this, we're going to be introducing a beautiful interactive site level task table view. It's going to be very consistent with all of our other task views, and we're actually going to be adding in some really lovely functionality that we're going to be introducing alongside the likes of the custom items as well. You'll see these same type of more advanced table capabilities in this new table view. So being able to group your tasks by different attributes, for example, really lovely interactive sorting, filter patterns, for example, things like our formula fields. We're going to be looking to get that into the everything table view as well. So keep an eye out for that one. That's one that we're going to be getting very stuck into over the next couple of weeks. So looking forward to getting that into your hands as well. Thank you, Janelle. And then I believe the last one for me and coming soon before I hand over to Laura again is a really lovely update. And you probably, if many of you have been on previous webinars before, you'll see that we're really working hard to bring Teamwork Desk and teamwork.com very close together, because we know the importance of client communication and managing that client comms piece in terms of efficient work delivery for your clients, keeping things, relationship management, making sure that things are being done on time. So this update is a step further again. So with this change, you're going to be able to keep tickets and tasks ultimately in perfect sync using our Teamwork Automations feature. So we're adding a new automation action from teamwork.com that's going to let you update a linked ticket when certain conditions are met. So for example, when a task is completed or a custom field changes, you'll be able to update the ticket that's actually linked to that task. So first, you can quickly add a note to the ticket, for example, so your client or your team knows exactly what's happened without needing to leave the Teamwork project view in that instance. It also makes it very easy to respond to clients automatically based on task updates. So you could see again how that could save an awful lot of time where you're able to add those automatic responses based on updates to the task. So they're always informed of progress without anybody actually manually needing to type updates. And then finally, it cuts out a lot of that repetitive admin between projects and tickets. And that's obviously going to save you time. So rather than having to jump in, get the task update, understand what's happening, go back to the ticket, update the ticket, respond to your client, all of that can actually be done automatically through the teamwork.com automations function with this new action that we're adding in. So it's going to help you really close the loop between your internal work in teamwork.com and then your client-facing communication in Desk. So it'll make that whole thing an awful lot smoother for everyone. Next up, we have Plan Resources with Laura.
Thanks, Jane. Okay, so first up, settle in, this is a big one. Tentative projects. So we have heard your feedback and we're really expanding on this concept as a whole. So with full end-to-end support in teamwork.com. So there is a lot of new functionality coming down the line. So first up, you'll be able to create and update tentative projects in Teamwork directly from HubSpot, which is going to keep your CRM as the one place for managing your pipeline and bookings, and then automating and updating the creation flow within Teamwork. Next, whether you use a CRM or not, in the project creation flow, you'll be able to label each project as either confirmed or tentative with a new field type. This will help better organize your tentative projects and down the road be able to do more things like report on them, for example. So next, you'll soon be able to apply an existing project template to a tentative project, a piece of feedback that we have heard a lot. But we're not done there. We're also bringing a new schedule tab into each project where you can plan allocations and resources or placeholders right within the project itself. So instead of needing to hop in and out of the resource scheduler, you can do everything right from within the project. And lastly, tentative projects will be able to be turned into a template, so complete with allocations and resources pre-populated in the schedule tab. So this will make your future project planning a breeze. Next up, I think I did see this in the chat. I just want to talk about Outlook. This update brings the same great scheduling accuracy as we discussed earlier to teams using Outlook. So we haven't forgotten about you. Now the planning views will automatically take your team's Outlook calendar commitments into account. So again, like we discussed earlier with GCal, giving you a real-time accurate view of the true availability when planning work. So it's giving you all the same benefits that we discussed. Meetings and out of office time are reflected in planning, avoids that dreaded double booking and accurate planning without any hidden surprises. So no matter which calendar that your teams use, teamwork is still your single source of truth. So next up then, I want to discuss our coming soon updates, making projects profitable. So first up is Quotes V3. So what are we doing to make it easier to keep your projects profitable? Quotes V3 is going to give you more control and precision when creating quotes, helping you build proposals that are not only more professional, but more importantly, more profitable. So you can now manage line items with far greater flexibility. So you can customize every quote to reflect exactly what you're offering, while keeping an eye, of course, on your margins as you go. So there is some great new functionality that the team have been working on that will be available in this update when it comes out. So a brand new global quotes page, giving you one place to manage and organize all of your quotes across your pipeline. You'll be able to apply taxes or discounts at the line item level, which give you more granular control when building and editing quotes. You'll be able to see both gross and net margins per line. Of course, this will stay internal. Your clients won't see this, but it will allow you to make more informed decisions as you build to ensure every project stays profitable. And finally, you'll be able to create a project from your quote where you can choose to map your line items to allocations, tasks, or expenses. So we're very, very excited about these updates that will make quotes and teamwork even more powerful, flexible, and transparent, helping you to create accurate, detailed, and profitable proposals with these. So this next improvement makes managing and approving time much more efficient. So time approvals V2, we have redesigned to help managers review, manage, and approve timesheets more effectively, whilst still ensuring the right balance of billable and non-billable client work. So what is new? There's now less clutter, more clarity. You can focus only on the timesheets that matter to you. So those maybe that are just submitted by the people who report directly to you. And this basically means that there is fewer distractions. You're not reviewing any timesheets that don't matter to you, so you can get your work done faster. Secondly, we're introducing timesheet locking. So once you've approved a timesheet, you'll soon be able to lock it, prevent any unwanted changes or edits. And this keeps all of your records accurate and consistent. Together, these updates make the time approval process smoother, more controlled, and more transparent, so you can spend less time chasing updates and more time focusing on your client work. We're expecting this enhancement to go live in the next couple of weeks. Very exciting. Next up then is role-based rates. What this is going to do is give you far greater control over how you manage and forecast your project costs. So you'll be able to set and manage rates for every role in your organization. And this will really make it easier to plan projects accurately, forecast profitability, and maintain consistent billing practices. So this feature really will give you the ability to set representative cost rates for each role. And this gives you clear insights into project planning, resource allocation, and profitability. So you'll be able to define specific billable rates per role, even for placeholder roles. And this will help you plan more effectively before assigning real people to the work. And lastly, this update adds real flexibility. So you'll be able to choose the rate type that best fits your situation, whether that's individual, role-based, custom project rates, or even a hybrid mix, if that's what your workflow demands. So it's really, really flexible. In short, really, role-based rates makes it easier to keep your pricing fair, your planning precise, and your profitability on track, no matter how your teams are structured. So the next part of the coming soon piece is all about tracking performance. So our budgets insight report. So when you're tracking budget performance, this next release is going to give you a much clearer picture of how your project budgets are performing. So you'll now be able to track all of your project budgets in one centralized view, including the total amount, how much has been used, and more importantly, what's still remaining. You'll be able to drill down from the client level to see everything from total project budgets to individual and even task list budgets. So giving you really a complete visibility into where money is being spent. Secondly, you can filter by date range to view either active, ended, or upcoming budgets. So you'll always know what's current and what's coming next, ensuring there's no surprises. And finally, you can quickly spot any time logs or expenses that are not linked to a budget. So this is personally one that I think is really, really helpful, helping you to catch any potential overspend or unbilled work before it becomes an issue. So the Budget Insights report is designed to give you real control and confidence in your financials, making it easier to plan, track, and maximize your profitability across every project. So we're enhancing our custom reports management report so you can edit and maintain your reports much faster with clearer visibility into what's happening behind the scenes. So once this is released, you'll be able to see when your report was last updated, thanks to improved sync information. So you'll always know you're working with the latest data. You'll be able to search for and manage columns directly from within the report view, making it quicker to adjust which data you need to see without needing to rebuild your reports. And finally, depending on your plan, you'll have access to some really powerful new tools. So the formula builder in standard reports and the expression builder in advanced reports just takes your reporting customization even further. So altogether, these enhancements make managing your reports faster, clearer, and more flexible. So you can spend less time in configuring and more time uncovering those insights. These enhancements will be rolled out incrementally, so you should notice them start dripping in very soon. The last enhancement in tracking performance then is all about giving you more control and precision when working with your custom reports. And this is our advanced filtering feature. So now you'll be able to dig deeper into that existing data and surface exactly what you need. So you can combine multiple filter conditions like is not, is between, is after, and more. Again, bit of a theme here, but it's giving you much more flexibility in how you narrow down your data. So you can layer those filters together as well, to really focus on what matters most, whether that is time periods, clients, team members, or project types. And you'll be able to instantly surface those insights right inside Teamwork. So you don't need to export it out, use extra tools, or wrangle any data. Advanced filtering helps you move from data overload to real clarity. So you can make faster, more informed decisions directly from your reports in teamwork.com.
Awesome. Thank you, Laura and Jane. I know we're bringing us right until time with about 5 minutes left, but I mean, it's the last quarter of the year, so I think you're sensing that, we're in the final push here and really excited to get, honestly, a lot of this stuff out and started on for you. I just have a couple updates and announcements, and then we'll jump right to Q&A. So first and foremost, if you were interested in a feature here that you don't see on your plan or in your account, I'll send a form for you to get in touch with us, and someone can reach out to you and talk about maybe trialing some things or exploring another plan based on things that are perhaps not right within your grasp right now. So there'll be a form that I can send around for that. We have 2 upcoming webinars. First on October 29th, Resource Management Tips and Tricks, and on November 13th, Mastering Financials. So I will send a webinar sign-up link as well. And lastly, I mean, AI is everywhere right now, and we are hosting an upcoming webinar. This is more about AI and client work at an industry at a broad level, but we have a panel including Logan, who will be chatting with Dan and Jay all about how to maybe have some of those difficult conversations with your clients when they're talking about AI. I mean, the webinar is titled, If We Have AI, What Am I Paying You For? Perhaps you're having some of these conversations already, but this session will be an hour-long panel to kind of get most of those burning AI client questions out there, get you armed with some responses, and as well a free script pack that you can then use in your back pocket as a resource to handle some of these potentially awkward conversations about AI with your clients. So that is coming up on November 5th, and I will just drop links to all of those right now in the chat, and we will jump right to Q&A. So if I can get Laura and Jane back on, we're going to jump right into a question that was about, about tentative projects. So I know there was a lot with tentative projects. There was a lot of excitement about that. Are there parts for certain gating that, parts are for grow versus parts for scale? If you could just demystify that one.
Yeah, I don't mind jumping in on this one, actually, because this was a real cross-team effort, the tentative projects work that you're going to be seeing over the next couple of weeks. So the way that we've structured access to tentative project across the plans, so we know that there is a huge need to manage and plan both confirmed work and tentative work that's maybe a little bit earlier in the pipe or earlier in the CRM stages. So tentative projects as a project type will be available across all of our deliver, grow, and scale plans. We're going to be, based on our current gating around things like the scheduler view. So, for example, Laura mentioned as part of the tentative project work, you're going to have a view of allocations in a project that will remain on the scale plan. So, we want to try and unlock as much value as possible for people on both deliver and grow by making tentative projects available to you. But a lot of that more kind of advanced, sophisticated, high level tentative planning, when you get into the likes of resource planning, is going to be gated to scale still. So I hope that makes a bit of sense.
Got it. Yep. Thanks, Jane. I see one here about, well, lots of questions about multi-currency, and I'm happy to keep this with me as well for this question about activating multi-currency. Excuse me, since there were some questions about that. And I just wanted to clarify that multi-currency will be best used for net new clients. So if you have an existing client that you actually think deserves to be in their own currency now, our recommendation is to finish up that project with them and then create that client and assign them that currency, just so reporting can all stay the same. We aren't able to kind of retroactively look at conversion rates and change things financially based on previous currencies. So for any net new clients that you want to add now in the client's view, there will be a currency field where you can assign that currency to that client. In doing so, you will get that currency appear in the billable rates of your people tab. So there's going to be a direct correlation with that people tab and those new client currencies that you're adding. So you can actually add different currencies per people based on their regions. So you can actually define the different value of their hourly rate across different currencies as well. So this one is thorny. I appreciate there were some other questions, but get in touch with support, or if you have a CSM or account manager, and they'll be able to help walk you through that. And we have one final minute left. Laura, a question for you. We talked a lot about tickets and desks. We have someone not sure what tickets are. I don't know if we use them, but can you give us a rundown on what those tickets are in desk?
Yeah, of course. So tickets in desk really, there's a couple of different ways that the people are using them, but ultimately it's how your clients are communicating with you. So we know that the vast majority of client communication is done by email. And so what Teamwork Desk does is takes those emails from your client and applies different workflows to it, can categorize those emails into tickets so that you can easily connect those directly to your project work. So what this enables you to do really is bring your client communication, attach it to any of your project work, and keep everything together. So it's really giving you a single source of truth with your project work and the client communication all in one place.
Awesome. Yeah, if you're interested in learning more about Desk, feel free to fill out that get in touch form as well, and we can talk to you guys about that. But it's an hour right on the dot. That's all for us today. Hope everyone has a great rest of the year 2025. We'll chat to you next year, if not before then, but thanks for spending an hour with us. Thanks to Jane and Laura for presenting, everyone in the background answering questions. We hope this was insightful and informative for you. There will be a short survey. If you don't mind filling that out when we end the webinar, just let us know how we can make this even better for next time. But thanks everyone for joining us today, and have a great rest of your day and year, and take care.